Hey guys, Aru here from Planchcast. Thought I'd do something different because I've just been doing short videos and I might even clip this up for a short video. But bought a whole bunch of these recently, which is, I guess, it's kind of like backwards to you guys, but it is ideas for air fryer, right? So this is from Maggi. This is a pre-mixed recipe, right? So it's a crispy Japanese style chicken, right? Let me just go here so you can see, right? And then, so what it tells you to do is that you got to mix in, coat chicken pieces in egg. So that's why we have an egg. And then, cut up your chicken pieces as like a double, full, large, very large breast of chicken. So it's like, I think it's like a, yeah, look, that's one side. So this is like a number 20 size, what we call a number 20 or 24 size, you know, chicken breast in New Zealand. And then also, I'm going to put on rice when I finish cooking it, but you crisp it. So what happens with this is, right, you preheat, for 200 degrees, your air fryer, which is right over here, so you can't see that, but because my hands are thin, I'm like, dirty with the thing, so I'm not going to move it. So what it tells you to do is mix the egg, right, cut up this into strips and mix it with the egg, right, in a bowl, of course, and then let it soak in, and then after that you just roll it up in this half of this, and then then turn around and put another bit of it, and then another bit until it's nice and well dressed, right, in this. And then you spray, and I just use this one of my old spray things that I still had a bit of oil at the bottom of the saffron, and I put this in it, so I could a canola oil, so I could actually be able to have a spray, right? So I'm always about recycling, and so I thought it was best to just use whatever is available, but rather than going out and buying one. So I filled this up with oil, canola oil, vegetable, whatever, and then what it tells you to do is spray the bottom of this so it doesn't get stuck, and then lay it on, and then spray again on top of the chicken that you put in the spray. So that way, there is no sort of like stickiness to it. Like sometimes it will stick, but that, because it's got the oil, it's got a bit of a layer of heat, and the oil makes it stop it from sticking either, and it helps cook, crisp it out. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll come back and we'll do part two. All right, we'll pause it a bit because I got to cut up this, and then we can show that. So I'll just keep it on pause rather than stop. So I'm just going to cut this up into little strips. This is the most recent knife my mum's bought me. My mum's a chef, has been for like, I don't know, about 30 odd years of her life. And so every now and then, a couple of years, I get a new knife. So this is the first one I got when I moved in, right, into this place, a Japanese knife. And this is the most recent. This is Baccarat. So this is, I guess it's Italian blade. So yeah. And so I'm going to cut it into like finger length strips. So like, what I mean by finger length, right like that, right? And just so that when it's actually in there, it's a nice little, it's not going to be hard to move around. If you cut it too small, like half that size, it's going to be like annoying. But if you cut it long strips like that, like about, I don't know, almost 10 centimeters, it's going to be easy to pick around and turn and everything. So the other thing you want to do is, if you've got something like this, you can size up how wide you want it, right? So you got there, right there. But sometimes it's good to like go a bit thicker and then turn over and then do another strip, so it's not too thick when you're cutting the strips. Remember, this is going to be coated, right? And you can always check it out, how thick you want it. But remember, the thicker it is, the longer it's going to take to cook. And I don't want to cook more than about 10 to 15 minutes on this thing. And this is raw as well, and chicken cooks a bit faster than steak and so on, or lamb, especially lamb. Lamb takes a bit longer. So the way I'm having this today is I'm going to, now this one here is a bit thin, so I might like just do a long strip instead. So this, I want to keep my strips as wide as long as I can get it to be. Now, what I was just mentioning is that I recently been really enjoyed. Let me see. There's this new vegetable set that came out, like frozen vegetable, and I've really enjoyed it. And it's this, so it's frozen vegetables, right? So I always add more to my frozen vegetables. It's this one here. So this is a pick of the crop mix, vitality mix. So it's got mushrooms, edamame beans and stuff like that. So you got green beans, red capsicum, shelled edamame beans, and shiitake mushrooms. So it's pretty cool. So what I did there is I also, which is I'm defrosting here, I put some corn in it because I like corn in the summer. And so I thought I'll, put some frozen corn, whole kernel corn in there. It'd be cool. All right, so, and then what I'm going to do with that, I'm just going to fry them up lightly with that, to give it a bit of a nice sauce. Yakitori's Japanese style sauce from Whitlock's and Sons. All right, so just in case you guys want to try it out, you can go find out what that is. So all that you got to do is just fry it in a pan or frying pan, and then that will allow you to give it a bit of crispiness to it. And then, if you want, you can start chucking some onions or whatever. I'm going to put in some spring onions that I've chopped, that I got for real cheap, and I chopped it up and I froze, right? Lots of, and so, and I just chuck it on top when I'm almost done to give it that little, onion taste to it. You can also use garlic and so on and thicken the sauce up, but we'll see how it goes. What I'm going to serve it on is rice, right? Because I'm doing vegetables, so I might as well do it with rice as well. So we're almost done here. Then we're going to crack an egg over it and mix it all in, like I said. So this one's, of course, it's an NP, so it's kind of a bit thick, but should be all right. So there you go. There's the smallest pieces out of all this. Now, I know people have been watching my shorts, my short video clips, right? And there's been quite a good hits on there. But I really appreciate you guys if you come over and, I know some people like just the cooking stuff, so I thought I'd make this video, but a longer video of that, right? So one of the things is that we also do a whole lot of, I just realized I might not have sliced up. I might have not sliced up. Oh, I did. Just like they were sitting next to each other, I thought I did not slice it up. So, just mix it all up, right? I was thinking of putting salt and pepper, but then I realized that I might have to do it very light because, mixing it all up, that I don't want it, in case this itself here has a lot of salt and pepper in it. And it says it's got mustard and it's got celery, so yeah. So it's got onion, turmeric, so it's got a lot of flavoring in it, and black pepper. So I think I'd rather not stick any salt and pepper in this in case it'll just make it a bit more, too salty, right? Or too peppery, kind of like a bit too hot. All right, so that's there. I'm going to wash my hand, and we're going to try to drain it off a bit because I don't think, and the way I'm going to drain it off is I'm going to use a sieve. Because I don't think I want it too liquidy, because then it gets, by having it too liquidy, what should I put it on? Actually, I might, just in case. Sometimes I like to, I think on this one I'll chuck out because it is egg, and sometimes egg can be a bit not so great when you're trying to, reuse, especially with chicken, all right? Because you can get salmonella if you do that. And that's one thing, you learn very early on. What is that? It's a pepper. You learn very early on when you're doing a course, like, any cooking course, is that, chicken's not a good thing to, leave around on your board and not wash it because of the, you can get sick if you don't clean your board properly, right? Off that one goes. Goes in there. Get that out of the way. Right, so drain off a bit of that. of the egg. Now, the next thing you want to do, right, with that is grab a, well, I'm going to do anyway. It doesn't tell me what to do, so I'm just going to do my way, what I think is good. And this is kind of just years of freaking just watching people and experience. It's not like something, something like, oh, this is a must. It's just what it is. You just learn, pick it up, what's easier to use and what's not. So I'm just going to do this. Because it said half, right? So I'm going to go half like this. And I'm going to mix it up. And use a fork to mix it around a bit. Alright, as you can see. So I'm going to bring this down a bit so you can get it a bit better. And maybe go that way a bit more so you don't see my apron more than you really need to. Yes. By the way, this apron was actually a gift from my sister, who actually got, was a gift that was given to my brother-in-law, Les, who then my sister saw and gave it to me, and I felt sorry for Les, but I could, I just said, well, if you want to, then I will take it, but I'm not. It's a nice, it's kind of a nice Star Wars thing, what you call apron, because it's the Millennium Falcon, right? You can see that. So yeah, so here it goes. So mix it up like that. Like they said, you got to do half on and half out. So then because then you're going to turn it up. So I think this is a better way of doing it. I mean, you can do this in a bag. That's another way. You can do it in like a roast bag or something. That mix it up. That's another way of doing it. But here I can see how much is going on and how much isn't going on. Right? And it's the same deal. You're just going to mix it up anyway. So, but you got to make sure it's got a good coating all around, and not just some's coated and some's not. And that's why they say do it half at a time, right? Because you don't want to just shove it all in there. Next thing you know, it's like clumps of it all in one, but others are not being touched. I can smell it. It's really, really good. This is a really aromatic mix, and I think that would come from the tamarind, and like they said, it's got onion, chili, black pepper, spices, ginger, sunflower, sugar, vegetable fat, what else is there? My eyes are bugging. Wheat, soy sauce, potato starch. So there's quite a good mix of stuff, and and I mean, good mix of stuff in the sense that like there's a good taste of of this going through it, all the flavoring and all that is what I mean. So when you actually go to fry it up, it's going to have some good thing. But I think I might have to use, like, I'll see how much this is, but in case because for the amount, right? Because basically what they said here was that it's about, it doesn't say how much chicken, right? Or does it? Yeah, and by the way, you can use it on broccoli and pork, right? So you don't have to do it on chicken. So if you want to do it for pork, you can do the same thing on pork, right? I'm not sure about red meat, because red meat would basically start bleeding and wouldn't look great. But definitely white meat, like chicken and pork and turkey. Could even give it a turkey a go, but I'm not sure what area of a turkey you'd use, because I know sometimes turkey can be hard. That's why people roast it and all that other stuff with it, rather than just kind of give it like drumsticks. Now, as you can see, it needs more, right? Because it's in there, but it's not giving me the coating that I want. So, like I said, I bought a whole bunch of them because it was on special. And this is what I like to do. And I think that's something that a lot of us should be doing now. It's like when stuff is on special, right? That you get a bunch of it and save it, right? And it's by a bunch of it, I mean like I got 3 here. And that's probably because I thought I didn't buy it, and then I saw it on it. But there's other ones as well. There's a southern style as well. So we'll go with the Japanese today. And we'll stick with Japanese, say, not go with Japanese. So, yeah, because this is, it's a large amount of chicken compared to what they were probably thinking, like a couple, like 200 grams or something. But I'm using like around about 400, maybe even 5. I don't know. But let me, this is the thing. It's like it ends up. So I'm gonna powder it up a bit more. Maybe half of this might be enough. And I just realized maybe I should put it in a bag. And like I said, I'm not, I just make my recipes up as I go along. And I've said this before to people who've asked me, I should do this and do that. I just make it up how I feel that's needed at the time, because I'm all about having fun with my recipes. And they're all always one-off type things. I'm just, if I like it, I'll try it again. But they never turn out the same as what I've done. Sometimes they might even turn out better. Right? So this might actually, now that I've got it coated like that, right, evenly coated, doing the, chuck that in there as well. Might be nice and crispy pieces come up. By doing that, I'm just going to put, it's going to, get a better coating. So, go like that. Put another one in, give it another bit of mix, and then you'll see what I mean when I do this. And actually, to be honest, I don't mind if some of this is wasted, because I want a decent, mix of coating around it. And plus, I said, it only cost me $1 each. It's like about New Zealand dollar each, which is like about 50 cents US or 60 cents US. So let's go the whole shebang. So using two of these. All right, as you can see, it's in there. So I'm gonna, put them in one at a time. Mix it up, and I'll pause for a minute, and then we'll come back to it. All right, took me about 5 minutes, but I put it one at a time so you can see how beautifully it's coated now. All right, unlike before where it was like that color, right? So now it's nicely coated, and a bit more things, so you can see, look at that. Alright, so get rid of this. I'll soak it at the same time. My fingers are all like messed up because of the, what you call it, put it there. Let that soak so it'll be easy to clean later. So, alright, you don't need to watch me you don't need to watch me cook the vegetables, which is just frying up. So I'm just going to quickly show you what I'm doing here. Right, so they want you to spray it nice and white all around. And like I said, this is canola with a hint of saffron oil where was left over at the bottom. I almost sprayed myself because the thing swung around on me because of the oil. Right, so it's going to take a couple of times to do this. Let's get rid of that. Because, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to, the one is, actually, they said, heat that for a bit. So I'm going to heat that, and then we'll come back. All right, so this is nice and hot, and now we're going to take this. That's actually quite hot, so hopefully I don't hurt myself. We'll shove that on there so it doesn't stick. That's the whole point of this oil on the bottom, is to not let it stick. Spread it out a bit so it doesn't probably might have to spread it out by hand a bit as well if it feels like it's mixing it up, so I brought them all together in a curl or something like that. Spread it out a bit. It doesn't really matter if it's too curly, right? Because you don't want it to be like, oh, this is like what is it called, like machine produced, and it's not handmade or whatever, homemade kind of feel to it. So you get the little ones, got the big ones. It's like mama and papa kind of thing. Love chicken. Who doesn't love fried chicken, right? So this is another variant of that. So I'm going to try to get half and half in so I can actually do 2 lots, right? Rather than 3 lots. And that would suck if I have to do 3 lots. It's just wasting more power and stuff. Right, so I think that's about it. And I'll show you what, how I play placed it around, I should say, on the bottom. And as I mentioned, I don't really, have a set rules to how I do stuff. I just do how I feel at the time. So there you go. All right, it's all in there. And then they said, raise some more oil over the top so it comes out crispy. So I'm going to do that. So there's about 10 to 12 minutes, coated nice and wet, because that's, well, I should say, and because that's all it's going to do, right, is go in there and start cooking it on the top and make it crispy on the outside. So let's put up to 12 minutes and let's see what happens, and we'll be back. Oh, also, while you're waiting, sorry, I should say it. So while you're waiting for it to get crispy, right, now you're going to cook up the vegetables or put on your rice for about 12 minutes in the microwave, right? So that's that. That's what I'm going to do. I've already cooked the rice beforehand. Now I just put it out. And then, of course, now I'm going to cook, the vegetables. So when it's ready to come out, by the time 12 minutes there, 12 minutes there, by the time the second lot is finished, it's ready for eating. So, yeah, catch you in a second. All right, the bell's rung. There you go. Didn't use much space right after put in. So that's one lot. And next lot, let's get this next lot on. I've already cooked the vegetables in the time, the 10 minutes, 12 minutes I had in between this. So, that basically allowed me to do a bit of cleaning, rinse out some dishes, get the chicken off, off the board, so it doesn't soak in, therefore causing salmonella later on. Let's get this all out. And then, so yeah, only 2 times, which is good because that means I don't have to cook it 3 times, as I mentioned. I mean, put 3 lots in because that's just waste of power, right? So I can do it in twice, then that's better than doing it 3 times. And using power, make sure you're not wasting power, especially now with inflation. Everything costs a lot more. Alright. Let's get this last bit in. It's a long one. Okay, we have to make room for that to make sure it gets in there properly. Get this one on once, kind of like elsewhere. Plus, by putting oil all around, it's like stopping it from stopping it from like sticking together too much, which is what you don't want, right? So I'm sure some might in this time as well be cool as well. So this is the cool thing, it's like there's no waste. There's no waste by doing it this way. Alright, so there's nothing left in the bag. And which is what you want. You don't want to waste food or all that. So what I'm going to do now, make sure that's all spread out right. Do what we did just before. And all that's doing there. Spray lots of oil. So we get it nice crispy. Even if it gets dry, it still has that nice crispy look. Right. And that's it. 12 minutes. Make sure that's a nice thing. But the other thing here is like, let me bring this up so we can finish off here. So the other thing here is, guys, that in between that cooking, I got the vegetables done. There's some roasting. That's what I like to do. Like, basically, you don't want to be like just waiting. I like to wait to cook. Yeah, time to clean up your dishes, right? Make it tidy and everything, and so on, and get everything else prepared. So it's like, give or take about 30 minutes, right? You get all your dishes done, vegetables made, chicken done. The other thing is you can just put this out just with some sauce, right? Or some mayo sauce or whatever you want to put out. Japanese mayo and whatever. Cut up some, fresh herbs and chuck it onto it, or spring onions, right? Or chives, just shove it on top. Dish it out like this show here. You can do that. You don't have to make it into a meal, right? But I like a meal. And I want a decent meal, right? So that's all I got for you today. And hopefully if you like this, let me know in the comments, like, share, and if you do like it, leave a comment and let me know you want to see more of it. Otherwise, I'll just stick with, like, random ones every now and then and do some shorts. Cheers. Be well. Ka kite anō.